Disclaimer. We are two regular guys who love to talk Bone Thugs and Harmony. We do not represent Bone Thugs or any Bone affiliate. We are also not Bone Thugs experts. The views and information you hear in this podcast may be based on personal opinion. Please feel free to leave corrections and clarifying information in the comments. And enjoy.
Hey,
we talked about it at the beginning of the show.
Right.
We were like, this guy's schedule must just be insanity.
Right.
Just
Right.
off the family alone. Never mind
Right.
all the businesses and
Exactly.
church.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got two notes here that it looks like I missed, and I guess one of them I was bugging you about earlier this week, which is you are in that iconic Notorious Thugs photo, which is like one of the most revered Bone Thug songs of all time. And I always like to ask the guys that were there about that experience and that night, and just like the magic that everybody just always describes it as, just like a magical moment in the studio.
Yes. Like, do you remember earlier I told you about that vibe?
Yeah.
And like, I know, like, when we see that picture, you know, at that time, nobody didn't know that everybody was going to be who they became. You know, yeah. I know my wife, she say that from time to time, and she say that picture. It was just like everybody was hungry back then. It was like nobody didn't know, you know, Puffy was going to be who Puffy became, or Stevie J that made the track, you know, was going to be Stevie J, you know, and the list can go on. Crazy was going to be Crazy, and, you know, or whoever else that's in the picture, you know, it was just that hungry young cats coming together like, we about to make this happen. It was so, that vibe is everything. I mean, can you imagine like being in the studio and you just had all that in there? You know, it's like when that track came on, you're gonna be pumped, you know.
Yeah. It's incredible when we see that. And, you know, like you said, you had no idea who some of these guys would become. And even in what we call the, you know, the Bone culture, when we go over the list of, you know, just Bone affiliates in that, I mean, that's a star-studded situation.
Yep, that's a nice picture.
How did you guys end up, like, even like, I mean, I know that was just a regular thing that Bone just came with like the crew. Is that just what it was? Like, yeah, we're pulling up to this studio with Biggie. Y'all come along.
That's why he said Goodfellas on down to the Mo Thug crew.
Yeah.
That's because it was like, that's the entourage. Like Death Row had you know, the Dog Pound, and, you know, people had their little cliques and stuff. We was part of the clique. You know, so that was it. Yeah, but that clique matters, man, because that clique, you know, it ignites that fire. You know, that's that support level. You know what I mean? You know, it's one thing if I was the only person, say for instance, and I'm the only person in there, and this is all Biggie's crew, but then yet I got to rap on this song. It's like it'll bring more. You'll be more comfortable if it's Biggie's crew and your crew in there. You see what I'm saying? Because it's just that vibe, man.
And it adds like a little, it gives you an extra boost too. Like you're
That's
gonna go more with your
and then, you know, your boys all pumping you up, and everybody hard. You already was gonna come off, but that extra pumpness, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, all that matters, you know.
You may not have seen this one coming, but a question we've got about you for I mean, probably since we've done this, is find out about the Day of Reckoning. Fans are always asking us about the Day of Reckoning, and it's a constant question just about the record and what happened with it, and, you know, everything like that. I think we were just asked that. John, didn't somebody have a question about that just when we posted it on the board?
Yeah, and it's like there's no info. Like nobody knows. Like whatever you say is going to be new information about that album for most people.
Right. Man. So when I had left, you know, Mo Thugs, like, man, you know, I didn't have a Poetic Hustlaz, right? So I didn't have Poetic Hustlaz with me. So, but my mind is already focused on like, wait a minute, well, just start a label. get you some people, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm not rapping all on it, because I was really more behind the scenes, because, they say the coaches always outlast players. So just like if you watch that New Edition story, when that executive was talking to Michael Bivins in the car, and he basically had put him on to the game of behind the scenes. That's where the money at. So I tried being the artist, and it's like, but okay, let's do this bottom up. And by me already having connections with Relativity at the time, it was a no-brainer. Go make you a compilation album with different artists. I had some R&B, I had reggae, rap, I had female rappers, male rap, just different styles. Put it together, you know what I mean? Put the money up, everything. And I set up an appointment with the execs up in New York, man. And they said, come on, we like what we hearing over the phone. Let's talk. I get to New York, and then things changed. And then that was it. So, so at the end of the day, I mean, it's business. So for what they told me, is a why, it is what it is. So that's one of those things that I was telling you about that threw me for a loop, because it was like from the time that I left Cleveland and got to New York, it was two different conversations. So I don't know what happened, but at the end of the day, then I went to selling them out the trunk. We sold them out the trunk, because back then it wasn't so big on the internet like how it is now. We didn't have all those platforms that you have now. So and then everybody just kind of like dwindled and went their own way. And then I think at that time for music, I ran out of gas.
You're a guy that has stretched yourself in many different directions and done a lot of things with your life. I think one of the commendable things that I used to see you post about was the street gospel prayer call.
Oh yeah, I
you
was
do,
doing that for a minute.
yeah, you do so many things like that. Just just trying to help the people around
Right,
you.
help the people. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's commendable. The last thing I want to know about before we let you go tonight is the constant thing that I see you or your wife post is the house church. Can you tell us about the house church and just
Right.
what you guys do in general? Like that piece of your life is where I want to end it all, is the
Okay.
everyday part of pastorhood.
Yeah, man. I mean, thank you, man. You got some wonderful questions. Let me try to put this together. Like, okay, so the house church it's the church that we pastor. We ordained pastors. I'm actually working on my doctor's degree. I've been working on it for a minute now. My doctor's of ministry, so I should be finished probably about less than a year, maybe. But that's for just personal, But we now that COVID and everything is going on, but before COVID, we kind of shift from just your traditional like being in the location to have service, because we always been pastoring. We've been pastoring for probably 15 years now, but we've been doing a lot of street pastoring, like with events, or like we got group homes. We got a couple group homes for aged out foster youth that we founded. We found a group home. It's the group home called Turning Point Homes. Then we have a nonprofit called BEEF. It stands for Black Education and Empowerment Foundation. And what we're doing now is we're doing that, helping people with financial literacy, home ownership, everything, like empowering people. But then yet in that piece, you can come to a Bible study, or you could come to a church gathering and stuff like that. So that's how we're doing it now. We're making it more into a community thing that has other things going on, but then you can have your church services inside. You know what I mean? Like that. So we do a lot of things. I got a mentorship program for boys called Manhood Academy, where we mentor. We do more of that community type in relationships with people, you know, opposed to me standing on a platform preaching at you. We're doing life with people, you know, from the kids that's coming to our daycare centers. You know, we used to have vocational Bible school, you know, for the kids in the summertime at church. Now we're doing them inside of our daycares, you know, whereas now by us meeting parents and fathers and mothers and children, we're able to like do life with people. So just to sum that whole thing up, it's like, so now post COVID, that's what we're really going full throttle on now, as far as that. Like we just had an event a couple of weeks ago for moms. You know, we got a spot at a hotel, fixed it all up nice, fed them a catered lunch, gave away some prizes. Then my wife gave an encouraging message and stuff like that. So we do things like that. We're going to be doing that like every 3 months. And like the Manhood Academy, we meet up once a month with the boys. And, you know, just different things like that, helping people get their credit together. You want to buy a home, all that. If you need to be baptized, you know, married or whatever. So we're doing life with people, I should say.
That's awesome. That's awesome
Yeah.
that you guys are a resource to people,
Yeah.
especially young people. Young people need
Yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
think that
Yes.
your experiences and what you went through in music, you know, really
Yeah.
helped you
Yeah.
realize
Yeah.
young people need this guidance.
Yeah, man.
I might have missed it. Do you guys ever
Yeah.
do anything online? Like if people wanted to like attend anything with you guys online, or have you guys ever thought about that?
Yeah, I think yeah, I thought about it, but I just guess I got to get there. Other than that, it's time consuming to me. I mean, it's cool. I would love to do something in the future, as far as that goes, but other than that, no, like I said, we grassroots, man. Is for now. You know, I'm just saying that for now. But the grassroots as far as that. But as far as I really, it been placed on my heart to gather men. I know even with us men, we can be hurting and bleeding, man, and nobody won't know it. You know, just something that's just separate from the rest of the internet. Even if it's a small group that nobody else can come in, but the men that's in that group to be able to just get encouraged or ask questions. You know what I mean? Because I feel like even for me, I don't know everything, but you know, by me being an older man now and like I said, the history and years of just, you know, with a family and marriage, we've been married for like 22 years and stuff like that. It's like you may be having some challenges, and it's like people don't understand how important, you know, accountability is, how important support is, how important, you know, wisdom is, and or you know, just a pastor, I should say, but not just preaching at you, but someone that you can trust, someone that you can let your heart out, that ain't gonna be on the internet girly mouth and talking about you and putting your business out there, you know, someone that you see. So that's what I love, man. When people get to know me as a person, that's where the trust comes in, that and they see me that I'm not just some dude out here, you know, just trying to take everybody's money. It's like, no, dude, I can work just like you work. You know what I mean? And I put my boots on one boot at a time like you do, man. You know, but at the same time, God has graced me to be in this role that I'm in right now. So that's what plan on doing. That's what that men's prayer call was supposed to continually to do like that. So I might just get back on that and get that going again.
I'm glad I could put that thought back into your mind as a
Yes,
great thing you were doing.
yes. I
Uh,
appreciate
I gotta say I'm super proud to say that I had you on this show and we got a chance
it.
to
Thank you.
chop it up. You know, we spent some time on I guess a few of the negatives, but I feel like
That's
we
cool.
focused way
No,
more. I feel
no,
like we focused way more on the great things that have come
yeah,
from those experiences, and I really
yeah,
want to thank you for taking the time out
yeah,
of your busy life and making this
man.
happen.
Man, I appreciate you guys and what you're doing. And like I said, this is no, you know, that was the past. Like I said, we was young, man. Nobody, you know, that's over with. But I wouldn't change it for the world because that made me who I am today. You see what I mean? That experience all the way down to going somewhere. A lot of people, you know, knowing me because of that, you know, it let me in a lot of doors that an average person wouldn't able to been able to walk in. You know what I mean? My testimony alone, you know, I can go to a prison, you know what I mean? And guys will know, you know, who I am and stuff like that, or what I've done. And I could talk about having a felony, talk about being with them, talking about how I turn my life around, you know, to give people hope, man. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, man.
I
I
I
appreciate you guys.
I always think about that too, that who you were must give you more access and trust to certain people that wouldn't have
It
that.
did.
And yeah, and
It
that's
did.
an important thing, is that identification with somebody that may not
Yeah.
always be in your role.
Yeah, man, for real. Like that helped me a lot, man. You know, even being a chaplain for the state of Ohio for 11 years, man, that worked for my favor a lot, man, with them dudes in there like that. You know what I mean? They really took my words serious, because like, man, you was that and now you doing this. Man, God must be, you know what I mean? So you get those kind of stories, you know, but it's all good, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all keep up the good work, man.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, go ahead, John.
I just wanted
Yep.
to say, man, you raised the bar for what's possible. So thanks for being
Raise the bar.
transparent. You raised
Yeah,
the bar,
you be
man.
encouraged. Listen, you be encouraged, and you guys, yes, man, this what you doing, it can go from a hobby all the way to the next level. For real. For real. Because you guys are doing a good job, man.
Thanks, brother. I
Hey,
appreciate that.
thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Tone, I want to thank him again for coming on. You can find all his social media on your screen right now. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you after this.
Yeah, nigga. Thug line up in this motherfucker. Yeah. Used to start off leather face. Going down. Finna get y'all motherfuckers fucked up. Let's get high. Yeah. Now my nigga Pop brought y'all motherfuckers with thug passion. Rest in peace. Got y'all niggas fucked up. Yeah. We got some new shit, nigga. Check this shit out. It's called
Mr. Majesty, just want to give a big shout out to my peoples at Beyond the Harmony. Much love and success.
And we are back. John, and our fly on the wall for the night, who's been witnessing everything, is Matt Weaver from our BNN segment. Guys, what an incredible interview to go through. The one that I thought may never happen just happened, and it was excellent.
Man, dude, Tony Tone just raised the bar for every guy in the world. We thought we were doing it big. Nah, man. I mean, doing it big as in full schedule. Tony Tone, be careful when you ask God for providence, or ask God, because he's going to give you everything. And he gave Tony Tone a life. And
it's crazy, bro. I'm a grinder. I'm a grinder. When I hear songs about grinding, I'm like, this is written about me. And then when I just heard Tony Tone's life, and he's like, yeah, the daycare and the 12 kids, and I'm a pastor, and we're opening this restaurant, we do magazines, and I got a podcast, and I do the daily call, and I made time for your podcast. And I'm just like, this is a grinder right here, bro. This is a grinder.
Yeah, and he had his vision on the legacy even back when, which is awesome. Like that was a real good part, man, when he was saying, there's these girls in here, but I was so focused on my legacy. So he had a vision in advance. And, as I'm sitting here, and I might have said this one time before, but it struck me even further. I'm sitting here and I'm watching Tony Tone on my screen. I'm thinking that we just talked to Silky Fine, and we get so caught up in these seasons that we fail to realize like how blessed we are that we're talking to people that
That's true.
We loved growing up, and like now they're on our show.
Yeah.
And it's we get showered with blessings that I just want to acknowledge it to God, to the universe for just showering us with just experiences. And we're so glad to be able to share these experiences with everybody else. So
it is.
Thank everybody that's ever been on the show.
It's incredible that they've come together like this, and something like, you heard Tone talk about, he's like, hey, I wasn't trying to put y'all off. I'm just so busy. And it's like a guy that's busy. It's like, and then COVID happens. It's like, this is never going to work out. And then it was just like one day he was like, hey, I got an opening here and here. If y'all want to make it happen. And it was like, let's make it happen. We're not even recording in a regular recording window, but Tony Tone, I knew was going to be special. And some guests we've had, it's like, you got a few shots to make it happen if it doesn't work out. Tony Tone was one of those ones that I was like, bro, we got this shot to work this out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got great titles for things. So like his rap album was From the Street to the Pulpit, and then he's got the book From Showbiz to Soul Biz, A Letter to the Hood. Like I love these titles he comes up with, and then he's the ideas are just flowing to him.
Yeah.
And there's been moments for people where just you're speaking from the survival scrolls, and it just seems like the synchronicity of events and just the blessings are just showering him on like an hourly basis, not even a daily basis, like an hourly basis. So, much love and God bless Tony Tone for just being a man. And the other part too is what he's doing. He's saying is like, I don't want to just be standing up there preaching to people. I want it to be interactive and where people can actually derive real value instead of passively listening, to be actively learning how to engage their lives. And I think that's such a valuable way to bring it back, because remember when we were talking about his family, he's like, yeah, we're trying to bring it back to old school values. And the way
Yeah. It
training
was
and,
awesome.
and teaching used to be an apprentice, right? So you weren't just like somebody watching, you were the apprentice that was actively gaining skills so that you eventually can become the master. And he's creating master men all over Cleveland and wherever else he has influence. So that's so tremendously commendable that he understands that it's not just about the fame, it's about actually bringing everybody up with you. So like that is monumental. And that's what all of us need to start doing is helping everybody else and building communities. Cause that's where it's at.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a powerful guy. I think about what you said, often, which is just like how incredible it is when you think about some of these guys that we loved and they seem so out of reach. And now that we literally just spent like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I know what the goal is. And I know I'm usually like staying tight to the goal, but I was like, dude, I can't miss out on this, especially because we spent the first half on Poetic Hustlaz and Bone and Mo Thug, which is fine. That's what we're here for. But I knew it was important to get to that other piece. And it was amazing to see the light in him, because we made him relive all the Bone and Mo Thug and all that stuff, which I'm sure he's good with it because it's a story. But like when we transitioned to the stuff that he does now and his family and all that, like you saw the light in this guy go off, and I was like, I can't only give this 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I gotta explore the layers of this, because this is where this guy really is. It doesn't matter if this is a Bone Mo Thug show or not. This is the piece we got to double down on. This is what we really got to be here for, because the you could see the light go off in him, bro.
Yeah, but even with the Bone stuff though, I love that he knew the true essence and meanings for some of the lyrics, like when he was mentioning
Yeah.
shots to the double Glock and Notorious Thugs. Like as a fan, you're like, oh man.
Oh, he was great in that.
Yeah.
In the Bone and Mo Thug segment. I'm not taking anything away from that, because he gave us gold that in 3 seasons we haven't heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
gold. I'm just saying that when we got to the second half about what he does now, it was just different. And I, as a fan of him as a person, just really enjoyed, that piece as well. The Bone and Mo Thug shit, forget about it, bro. By the way, did you notice that shit that I just dropped? That's the first time I swore the whole episode. I mean, I made sure not to be swearing in front of Pastor Tone.
Hey man, you're becoming a better man there, Cecil. You become
Yeah.
better. Tony Tone's rubbing off on you.
Yeah. Matt Weaver, you sat in as a fly on the wall the entire episode last week, Silky Fine. This week you've been listening in, just watching how it goes down. You're now a couple weeks in. You're a beloved Beyond the Harmony listener, and now you're kind of like behind the scenes. What's this experience been like for you tonight?
I'm just I feel super privileged to be able to just be a part of that. I think I have so much respect for Tony Tone and his, letting us go down memory lane from something that, how often do you think about 20 years ago, really, So for him to be that,
especially for him, he's so busy. Like, I'm sure that stuff's like not in his mind every day.
No. And if you would have told me when I was, however old I was back then, and I was going through the booklet while I was listening to Poetic Hustlaz, and then if you would have told me that in 2021 I'd be, like listening to him reminisce I would not have believed you. So
Yeah.
That's a
it was
great
a privilege
point.
for sure.
Yeah, man. And his reminiscing was great. It was awesome that that he would start talking on something and just go that way. I was like, this is where and if you remember before we came into the show, that's what I said. I said, I'm gonna let you go wherever you want. And it was awesome to just see like him flipping through the pages and kind of thinking about stuff he hadn't thought of in a long time, and hearing all those different things. And yeah, this season's been for me a lot different. I think that in the past, we've kind of been, I think even Tony said it when he came on, like, that there's been some focus on what the good stuff, like what's the dirt. And I think season 1 was like a lot of the dirt, but this season it's been a lot different, because it's like, Tony Tone's answer was absolutely fine. It was a great answer. But it's like, we all know what the answer is to like what happened with you and Mo Thug, so it was like we didn't have to spend a lot of time on that, because we all know kind of what the answer is already. And I like in season 3 with Jazz, with Tony Tone, that we've really had some like nice positive, I almost feel like victorious spirited interviews this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think the video helps out a lot as well. But no, I'm happy that Tony Tone's life turned out the way it did, because I think he is more wealthy in life and goodness than he would be if he was rich and famous as a rapper. You know what I mean? What he's built is roots, and what he built is unmeasurable with money.
Yeah.
And to have a real solid legacy. So it was incredible, and I'm glad, man. Not only that, as you were talking about the Mo Thug breakup or whatever, hearing it this time from Tony Tone, like it finally clicked to me, and I feel like I got the answers now. Like I get it now, and it makes sense. And he did a great job explaining that. So like now I hope everybody now gets it. And
I will say, like, Tony Tone was, even though it's funny, because it was like when we first started doing this, it was like, okay, as long as we get a Poetic Hustler, a Graveyard Shift, a Too True, that's enough to get a large piece of the story, but it's like, I'm so happy that we went the extra mile and got him, even though we had Mo Hart, because look at how much of the story there was. And that's why I'm diligent about, I still want Brina, I still want Boogie,
because I got a question for you though. You got a new piece of Faces of Death info there. Okay. Tony Tone is on Everyday Thing.
Yeah.
Did that make you happy hearing that?
I'm trying to remember. I don't want to say that I knew that, okay, because that's not what I'm saying, but there was something. I just remember, maybe it was just the shout out in the thank yous. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh yeah,
because there was a big association with Tony Tone and Faces of Death. So when he said it, I was like, yo, is that what I'm thinking of?
No, you were thinking of the Tanya Tone, I think. You wanted to know who. We never got around to asking who Tanya Tone
No, but I'm saying that there was an actual, like when I think of Faces of Death, like Tony Tone's in my mind as like a association there, even before this interview.
Yeah, well, in the special thanks, it does thank Boogie Night. It says Boogie Night, not Nike. Boogie Night, I guess Tony Tone. I don't know if Mo Hart's in there. I don't know if D-Lo is in there.
Pre-Mo Hart, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't, but you're right. I don't think I knew. There's no way I knew. How the hell would I have known that was him? How the hell would anybody have known unless it was like one of them?
Exactly. And
so dude, Everyday Thing from Bone Enterprise technically is featuring Tony Tone.
Yeah. and
that's a Mo Monday. That's a Mo Monday.
Oh, there was like at least 4 Mo Mondays in here. At least 4. This was action packed. And also both
The OG fans, by the way, are going to be pumped because this has been a long episode for season 3. The OG fans are going to be excited.
Well, did you notice that both now Tony Tone and Mo Hart both mentioned Hustler 3 Deep?
Yeah.
And
That's like whatever those original Poetic Hustler, the original Mo Thug Poetic Hustler song, because he said "Cross Me and You Die." Fuck, I meant to ask him about Tiny Lister too and forgot.
oh yeah, and okay, this one is out to the BTH listener. Yeah, we didn't ask Tony Tone about unreleased tracks. I think it was implied, so we didn't need to go there. You guys
Well,
know that,
dude,
there's
you
tons of
guys,
songs.
yeah, it's just like every time you guys are like asking about the unreleased songs, I'm like, what? That they exist? Like, you guys just want to say yes. Everybody's got unreleased songs. We are yet to interview anybody that didn't have unreleased music.
Yeah,
None of them, all of them, every one of them.
yeah. Even you have unreleased songs that I've never heard of yours, and
Dude,
I
and
might even have songs that you never heard of mine.
if we get Bone on here, same answer.
Hey guys, hey Busy Bone. Yeah, we're not asking Busy if he has unreleased. You know,
Oh
he's
my
got
god.
it.
Yo, hey Busy, do you have any unreleased music?
Here's one thing that this I'm gonna sound dumb and I'm gonna sound like a bad fan, but I don't know who CC is. Is that Charles Scruggs? Is that what they called Wish? Like who's
Yeah, it must
CC?
be. Yeah, that must be.
That's who you understood it as?
I mean, I understood it as this is a member of Bone the whole time.
Okay, yeah, and it's obviously he said Lay, said Antford crazy, and
Yeah,
he said
Brian.
CC, and
So
yeah,
CC must have been that must have been Wish. Is that what you think, Matt?
I couldn't deduct it to be anything else, but I've never heard him called that.
Yeah. But I just assumed because I was like, well, he's obviously describing members of Bone.
could be. Hey, anybody out there, if you got a better idea on who the
Yeah.
CC is,
Don't be that guy though. You know the guy. Don't be that guy that's just like, I knew that. I've always known that. Been
and
listening to Bone since 92.
if you had to guess, so now we also know that Lazy Bone was the first guy that Tony Tone met. Would Lazy be who you guessed, or would you have thought Crazy or Flesh? Because remember, he said he's a little bit
No.
older.
No, Lazy was who I guessed. Lazy
Okay.
was who I guessed. Yeah, because Lazy kind of met everybody, bro. Lazy was the guy. Lazy had the deal before everybody else. Even Tony talked about it tonight. So Lazy kind of met everybody. I meant to ask, dude, it was just like I was trying to cruise through, I knew the guy was on limited time. I meant to ask him more about Kermit. I meant to ask him about K Chill. I meant to ask a little bit about Stony Burke and like if he tried for a deal over there. So it was like, even though we got through a lot, there was a lot.
Oh yeah, no, we
But
had.
I'm grateful for what we got though, bro.
Yeah.
And I think it went good enough that if he ever had an open window again, he would come back on.
Yeah. Well, we always have our set of questions, but what we got out of this, I mean, all these interviews, they change who I am. Okay. And this is yet another one. I'll be thinking about this all week, not just for like the experience that we just had, but just for what I learned. And sometimes just chilling with a guy like Tony Tone for an hour, you inherit some of his life, inherit his wisdom. So, all the things he told us were exactly what he was supposed to tell us in the overall scheme of the plan of life. So I'm thankful. The way it went is exactly how it was supposed to go, and it was phenomenal. I think we got everything. We went through it all, even though we had questions. We got the meat.
Yeah, and a lot of them are repeat. Like I want to hear it from his perspective, but it was like you see how Notorious Thugs got missed, and I almost didn't even ask him. But it's like it's a fun story to hear. But it's like I didn't want to just ask the same repeat questions we ask everybody, but I did want to slide that one in. No, man, this was outstanding. I had a great time.
And another Mo Monday is the shots to the double Glock.
Yeah.
And the fact that Tony Tone was the one that remembered the sound, the killer.
It's like I just remember I had to remember that.
If he didn't remember it, like we may not have it. You know what I'm saying? So like, and the one thing that I always kind of think about is like all those guys that were on shots to the double Glock, for them, that must have been like their track. You know, when they had Eternal, it's like, yeah, Bones on all these songs, but like, hey, shots to the double Glock, that's our song.
D-Lo and 101.
Yeah, man.
That's your answer for all you guys that have said that it's Gates and Busy and all this other stuff. It's D-Lo and 101. We figured that out with Sin though. Sin dropped it on us. It was just kind of broken up. So that I really just re-asked that question so we could cement the Sin thing where it was a little broken up. Like we knew that last season, but it was important to ask again.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
And sometimes you may get different answers anyway. And maybe, you know, I know Sim was there and he was right, but let's just say he had Tony Tone said something completely different, or if Sin might have forgot something. For instance, you're going around asking about the Notorious Thugs photograph. Everybody was physically present there, but there's some people in the photo that nobody remembers.
Yeah.
So
two of them.
it's always, sometimes it's good to ask the same thing.
And even like, okay, Mohart didn't remember Soulja Boy ever being involved with Night Riders, but I'm pretty sure Sin and maybe Jazz did as well. I can't remember if Jazz did, but somebody did. So it's like, it just go, you know, again, 25 years. That's what we talk about all the time, is 25 years is a lot of time for people to try to remember things perfectly.
Well, Night Riders is like the telephone game. Every time we ask something about Night Riders, we get a different answer. Like there's never been, it's like, it's the ever evolving. And I love that about it. Like that keeps Night Riders mysterious while providing answers. So,
yeah. Well, I think we did it. I think I'm good. You good?
Yeah. I was trying to lead you up to say, well, that was mysterious. We continue the mysteriousness here with Beyond the Harmony. So I'll let you take it out.
I try not to do the hard cutoff on Thug Thursday, because Thug Thursday is a little open format. So I usually only hard cut off on like question of the week.
Okay, well, we'll check in with Matt. Make sure that Matt's
I was gonna do that. Matt, you good? Did we cover everything that your heart desired tonight, or is there something you want to talk about?
You know, I have a very strange feeling I'm not used to, of being very satisfied, but thinking that we barely scratched the surface.
I know. Yeah, I felt the same way at the end of talking to him. I was like, I got a lot out of this, but there was a lot more I could have asked.
Yeah, there always is.
Well, that's what it is. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. This was Thug Thursday. I am Cecil West with the one and only
Jonathan Lippy.
And our special co-host of the second half of the night,
Matthew Weaver, signing out. Good night and good luck.
And it is that time. Feenics, Ryzin, take us home.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join